Hello and welcome back everyone to this video on creating a video. So this is the first of a series of videos that I'm offering for you in case you have any interest in creating videos for your own use. Typically that would be for teaching a DE or EVE Enhanced Virtual Education course, or perhaps also for your governance group or other workshops or meetings on campus. There's a lot that we can do with video to make our conversations with our coworkers more interactive, and there's certainly a ton of things we can do with video in a positive sense to make our classes more interactive with our students. So we'll look at in this video a broad overview of how you might approach the trainings that I've set up for creating videos of various sorts. Everything from archiving videos to doing location video shoots, like if you're offering a class in ISI in one of our summer sessions, how can you make an effective video focused on some location shoot concept or context. The same thing could be said if you're teaching an art class in an art studio and you want to show something very interactive in your video that maybe takes up, unlike this space here, a large space. We'll talk about everything from lighting to recording to equipment, even things like microphones like I'm using here, and the minimum levels of technology and knowledge that you will need to accomplish some of your goals in terms of using video in your courses or other contexts here at LTCC. So to get started, I wanted to show you this outline. This outline is really what I'm using to identify the various issues that you might consider in recording a video. We'll start at the top, which will give you the basics. We'll go into 4 different scenarios that I think are very applicable to the use of video in your courses. And then we'll talk about 3 advanced techniques, including the possibility of setting up a YouTube channel. So if we begin at the top of the outline, this video is called Creating a Video. So I'm just simply introducing to you the concepts that we'll be looking at and also give you a sense of the flow of these trainings such that you can better target your own needs. I also want to suggest to you that most of these have been live workshops presented to you in the past. If you didn't get a chance to attend those workshops, another reason for creating this video and this outline is to give you a better sense of how to target your needs, particularly as you're pressed for time trying to get your class going for the summer. So as far as that first video, the one I would watch after this creating a video is called Video the Basics. And as it says, it's really about all the approaches you might take to video. This was from a workshop I conducted some time ago. It was a very lively workshop in that we had a lot of conversation and questions about video use. Just to take you through this slide, this gives you the broad overview. We could talk about things like using Zoom for synchronous teaching and meeting videos. Zoom is very useful in that everyone has access to it. It's synchronous, meaning it happens all at the same time with your participants participating with you. And the cool thing is you can set up advanced meetings using the Confer Now tool within Canvas, and you can publicize those with your calendar or send out the links for Zoom meetings. And then Zoom does a lot for you during and after the meeting. If you set it up the right way, Zoom will record your meetings. You will get a list of attendees. You can get a transcript of the audio that was a part of the meeting and so forth. So really useful. Take advantage of certainly all my Zoom videos as well that further illustrate the power of Zoom as a video synchronous tool in your class or meeting. Now we can also talk about the record upload media feature in Canvas. I won't show you it here, but in the basics of video, I talk about how in any content area in Canvas, the minute that you open it up, you can type text, and then there's a little icon that allows you to upload media. You can record on-the-spot audio. You could do audio annotation, for example, for student grades. And you can, of course, upload or right there in real time create a video, a live video like this. Now, I would say that the record upload feature in Canvas does not allow screen capture like the sort I'm using now here through Canvas Studio. So don't try to use the tools of the upload media Canvas content areas to do anything that involves a screen capture. Also, important to note, it is asynchronous, so you can't use it for a live feed real time with your students or coworkers. Now, Canvas Studio is, I think, the most robust of the tools we're using right now. It's what I'm using to record this particular video. Canvas Studio is really designed to record asynchronous videos. It can be a webcam, so the little image right now you're seeing of me, not the one from that camera, but from this direct computer camera, is the webcam capture. And then at the same time, I'm using the abilities of Canvas to also record a screen share. So you can have both the webcam and the screen share, or one or the other. It's really up to you. It's asynchronous. Again, you won't be using it for live purposes, but it's really wonderful for doing a software tutorial, focusing on something related to your area of teaching, and placing that somewhere in your Canvas site as a link, as a module that allows students to take advantage of that insight that you provided to them in that video. And what's cool about Canvas Studio is you can bypass YouTube. You don't have to do anything other than use the tool on Canvas, use the equipment you have, and then upload that video to Canvas Studio for archival purposes. Really handy to use. You can also share any of those videos with colleagues, other staff, other faculty on campus because of the ability to send links. You can do the same, of course, with Zoom, which many of us have done. Now, cell phone video, so I'm using one of my cell phones right here to record. And in some of the other trainings I'm doing related to advanced Zoom features, I'm talking about how to use a cell phone as a second camera, either with a cable or what's called AirPlay, during any of your workshops or teaching sessions. There's a lot you can really do with some other devices you might have lying around, like a phone, an iPad, and so forth. So cell phone video is an excellent way to particularly do location video. When you watch the location video, in which I'll talk about how you can go around your house or workspace to record a video that will be shared later. It's asynchronous, but it allows you to move around a space to show the nuance of something that you're doing. It's not practical to take my big computer like this, or even if I have a laptop, even an iPad, they're kind of big, and use that necessarily for recording video. You can do that, but it's going to look maybe a little unprofessional. One of the things I'll talk about in my location video, sounds redundant saying that a little bit, is the need of a tripod and the need of a way to hold your phone up so that you get professional looking video. And then we could also address audio. You don't have to have high-end microphones like I do and a big mixing board or something like that. But it is important to think about the quality of audio. One of the number one things I've noticed in a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of work-related videos, is the audio sounds really muffled and garbled. And you can be sure in this age of multimedia, if you put up a video that has really sketchy audio, people will maybe not get past the first 30 seconds. Quality is something we do need to talk about because it's part of the teaching dynamic. We wouldn't accept a physical classroom with bad carpeting and a leaking ceiling and open windows and dangerous electrical cords all over the place. Likewise, in an EVE or DE situation, we shouldn't accept low quality video or audio as part of the teaching and learning experience because there's no way students will learn with poor quality media. It's something we don't talk about enough. And then lastly, we can address some personal apps. And again, this is in the basics of video focus. If you use something like Marco Polo or another app like World Languages does very often, you may have other ways to do synchronous or asynchronous videos. I'm not training on those. Those are on your own, but there are certainly many apps out there that you can use above and beyond some of the resources I'll present to you today. So as I mentioned, be sure to check out that basics of video film and be sure to look at it. And my tip here is to remember to decide what you would like to accomplish with your use of video and then focus on those tools that you can use to accomplish your goals. You don't have to use every available tool. Use the ones that work best for you and certainly by all means make it manageable because we don't want you to do unnecessary work. There's a pretty steep learning curve with a lot of stuff like working with audio or video, some of the stuff that I do in my non-work life, in musical scoring, in video work, in creating musical videos and so forth. It's really involved and it takes years and years of work on this. I've been involved in music production, music performance. Video came much later, but I've been involved in the audio side of things since really the late 80s. So I've been doing it for a long time and the gear has changed over time, but the knowledge and expertise is something I've built on over all these years. So it's just something to mention because it's probably like you. I'm a terrible downhill skier. For some of you who are amazing skiers living in Lake Tahoe or somewhere near Lake Tahoe, it comes second nature for you. And that's really what music and video and sound is for me. So I certainly want to mention that it's important just to decide on those tools that you need to use and use those, and certainly reach out as issues come up with the technology. I'm here to help, of course. Remember also that different video tools may accomplish the same goal, and some of the approaches require, as I said, a good deal of time as well as some possible technology. So just in terms of that first point, if you're using Canvas Studio, you can certainly record a video like this from a webcam. You can also do that with Canvas itself, with the rich content editor. You can use Zoom, of course, to record a video as well. You could actually go in right now, open up a Zoom session without anyone there, and use it just for the video. So there are 3 or 4 different ways out there, including a camera, like a cell phone camera here, that would allow you to do the same thing, to record an asynchronous video. You don't have to use all those techniques. My recommendation for you is to use the one that you feel the most comfortable with, use a technology that you have the most expertise with, and that will take the least amount of time in terms of seamlessly recording your content or doing the work that you want to do with your class or your group on campus. The technology, again, if you have a cell phone, I think it'll be really handy for location video. If you lack some of these tools, we can have a conversation about how to possibly receive those. The college did provide some money for Eve conversion and also for technology to get some of this stuff going for some people on campus. If you have questions about that, let me know. My location video will be really the one to look at in terms of addressing cameras and tripods and some of these other issues of equipment. So a really good video to check out on location. Let me just go through the 4 scenarios here, and then I can guide you in terms of which of these videos might be best for you to understand and learn the technology. So if you want to record a live class session, which is synchronous, I really recommend watching Zoom the Basics. And certainly to accomplish this, you'll need a computer and Zoom, which everyone has access to. In the Zoom video, I discuss how to get access using CCC Confer. So let me know. I can send you that link if you ever have troubles. If you have trouble converting your account from a basic to a pro account, you can also reach out to me or use the included resources with CCC Confer to get some on-site or rather real-time technical assistance. So Zoom is certainly a great technology for any live streaming class. So check out the Zoom the Basics and all the other videos I have on Zoom, including my recent Zoom focused video on screen sharing, using a second camera, polls, setting up groups, and some other issues. Now, if you'd like to play a pre-recorded video and incorporate that in your live class or incorporate that part of a tutorial that you record asynchronously, really easy to do. I would recommend then you watch my upcoming video called Archive Video. I talk about all the approaches to doing this. For example, if you go to YouTube, you log onto your computer and you find the content you want, you can play that for your class. You can, of course, at any time, if it has a persistent, unique link in YouTube, and all you have to do in YouTube is click on the share button. You can get the link. You can also get the link as an HTML code for embedding, if you like that. And all you have to do is then put that in your module inside of Canvas and simply have the students click on it. If you want to do that, like for ISI, if you're doing a lecture and in the middle of the lecture you want to show a video, very easy to do. I could do that right now, just simply using Canvas Studio. I would just pull up YouTube, I would hit play on the video, the students would be able to hear it and watch it all the while it is part of that main video that you create. So playing a pre-recorded video is really easy to do, but do check out my video on Archive Video to learn more about this important topic. Now, if you want to record a demonstration, as I've mentioned, watch my video called Location Video. That is upcoming, and I'll take you through some spaces outside of this office space to talk about how you can approach microphones, cameras, tripods, tripod clips for your camera, taking that video from your camera, getting into a source, an archive, most likely that will be Canvas Studio, and then incorporating that as part of your class. Very complicated to do in some ways, but I will try to make it easy as best I can. I will give you the bare bones approach, and hopefully it might involve just purchasing a few pieces of equipment, such as an Amazon's basic tripod, which is available for $15 to $20 or something like that, maybe a clip to hook your phone, and then everything else would be just maybe a microphone, and then taking that video will be very easy because we'll upload that to Canvas Studio. So that's the most involved, I would say, but it also can pay some great benefits to our students because you might want to show them something in real time. If you teach botany, maybe you want to go outside in nature, show some plants in a location video, take that video back to your computer, upload it to your site for students to view, since we can't be live taking field trips necessarily at this time during COVID-19. So check out location video to learn more about recording a demonstration, a live location video. And then lastly, if you want to record a lecture or a demo, an asynchronous version of a video, please check out my previous video called Canvas Studio Overview. I take you through this entire technology I'm using at this very moment to record this video for you, which is called Canvas Studio. It's a wonderful tool. It has a lot of possibilities for you to use. You can customize your audio. You can choose the microphone that you use. You can customize the video. Very easy to save and process that to Canvas Studio. Pull it up later, immediately pull that into one of your modules, or send out a link to your students. It's so seamless and easy to use. It's probably the easiest of all the technologies that we have here, other than, let's say, playing pre-recorded video off of YouTube. So check out Canvas Studio Overview. You will need, of course, a computer and Canvas Studio, which is provided to you as a faculty member. Now, the last area of videos that you can look at are what are called advanced techniques. I really only recommend these if you want to dive in more deeply in terms of video or audio. As an example, if you want to perfect your video, watch The Value of Video, which I shot many months ago, but very relevant today to thinking about all the different options out there with video. You can also perfect your audio, so watch my Sound and Audio in Teaching, which was a live workshop. It was very useful. I get into issues related to microphones. I talk about mixing consoles, running on USB. That could be an option if you're teaching something related to music or sound design. A lot of opportunities there to really think about having better sound for your videos, including purchasing a lavalier microphone for like $15 off of Amazon. You could clip it to your shirt. You could run it into your cell phone camera and have some really good audio that has presence behind it. A lot of the audio I hear on computers, and that's why I don't use my direct computer microphone. It's okay, but it doesn't sound great. I have this microphone here. I also have, for my desktop purposes, another, they're both blue microphones, a USB mic that has incredible presence. I discovered recently I was doing a podcast for The Wondery, which I'd love to share with you at some point. I spent a lot of time preparing my ideas for the podcast, but I spent even more time, I would say, thinking about the audio, doing a series of tests with different microphone positions in high-end studios. If you're recording vocals for soundtracks, for voiceovers, you could spend on a Neumann microphone upwards of $5,000-$10,000 with different capsules depending on the purpose of what you're recording. A podcast that has a certain type of presence and maybe frequency response versus vocals, which could have a wider range of frequency responses if a singer is singing very low notes, low hertz, moving into the high notes as well. And so for those purposes, you have to think about using the microphone that's right for you. And so in this particular video on audio, I talk about all those approaches and how it's very important to think about creating the best possible sound. And as I said in that podcast I recorded, I spent a lot of time doing tests and then finally getting an audio recording that I thought had a lot of presence and really had some good sound quality in terms of the final mix that I sent to the producers of the podcast. Now, lastly, I have a video on archiving and sharing videos. I am in the process of producing this, so if you're watching this video first, it will take me a little time to finish this. It's called YouTube The Basics. I'll talk about my experience with a YouTube channel. I'll talk about the pros and cons of using it, how much work it is to set up, and the possibilities of using it as an opportunity to actually archive your videos, including doing some basic titles and putting up some copyright-free sound or music pieces to go along with your video, some simple titles as well. And then, of course, using it as a repository, as an archive through which you can share your content with the outside world. Very easy to embed a link from YouTube into your Canvas class as a module. So check out any of these 3 videos if you're interested in advanced techniques in terms of either audio or video production. As I'm saying here, just have a look at those advanced videos only when you feel comfortable with the main approaches that you're learning about in some of these other videos. So as I say in all of my workshops and trainings, good luck. If you ever have questions, reach out to me. My information is provided here. You can also reach out and check out the LTCC Teaching and Learning website, which is ltccteachingandlearning.com, one word. A lot of great resources there. You can click on any of those and learn more about topics like these and audio and video production and video use in your classes, as well as many other contexts as well. So good luck, thanks for listening, and I'll be back, of course, with more videos like this one in the future.